people, you already know who this is. This is Levar, aka Ramzie, the editor-in-chief of Snub Magazine, and today we have a special guest on the sit down. You know how we do on the sit down. I don't introduce the guests introduce themselves. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and let the guests introduce themselves.
Cool. I'm gonna keep it simple. This is Devon Culture, and I'm tapped in with Snub.
Definitely. What's going on, man? Number one, thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to speak with us today. Very appreciative that you're doing this today. Um, so like I tell everybody on the sit down, it's a conversation. It's not an interview. We like to say it's a conversation between two people just having a good conversation. So let's jump right into it. So number one, tell us how this all began from you. You're a singer-songwriter. Um, where did this all start for you to become into who you are today?
Uh, I've been singing since I was 3 years old.
Mm.
Um, but when I started doing it, as far as the industry is concerned, I started at the age of 10. I got to work with Bruce Wayne. This is around the time they were promoting Fantasia When I See You, and he was interested in signing me. And ever since then, the deal didn't go through, but then, man, I just been. I'm from Philadelphia as well, and ever since then, man, I've just been running the city, just live performances growing up, and basically just getting to know the music because music was a part of, but it never was like a standard thing. It was just if I could sing, you could sing.
Right.
But it started becoming more serious when I started doing more of the industry things, like going to studios and meeting producers and writers and all these things I wasn't used to. But throughout the years, man, I just been staying consistent, going through artist development with my mentor, Mr. Holly Stain, vocal coaching with Renee Robinson, and really just been grinding ever since then. Then I moved my way up to Atlanta, and that kind of shifted my entire way of really understanding how the industry is. So I was working with Troy Taylor when I did that. When I finally came out to Atlanta, I was working with Troy Taylor. And it's just been a roller coaster ever since then, man. Being able to write for different artists, like Trey, Jacquees, Tank, um, Breland, Country Record, and just a bunch of other artists that I never thought I would meet. So it's really just been the standard way of how an artist grows in this industry. But mine
Right.
was just organic. I just was falling in the right places at the right times. And here we are, man.
Definitely. You said something that I haven't heard from a lot of people as far as lately. A lot of people don't know what artist development is. I have not seen that. Like I've been preaching that to so many people that sometimes that can be just like a shift in some things, when it comes down to even just the development of an artist. And you tapped into it on that. What was it like for you, like just shifting into leaving Philly and then hitting into the industry for you and seeing uh you maneuver the ups and highs and the lows and also the culture difference between living in the North and the South?
Man, well, first with the artist development, to me it was the standard. When you come from a city like Philly, like you have to be dope at what you do. I think it's just like the default. I didn't know that until I used to go out of town and go to different cities and perform. And I'll be like, yeah, my name is Devin, and I'm a singer. And they'd be like, oh, where you from? I'll be like, I'm from Philly, and they'd be like, oh, well, we expect you to be
Right.
on a, you know what I mean? So my mentor, Mr. Holly Stain, his artist development is so unique because he would have me doing things. First of all, we got to start with a workout, and then he would have me doing things like doing push-ups and giving dialogue for the NAACP, something like that, while I'm doing push-ups. And his process is really more so about the mentality of what you have to do as an artist when you on the spot, or if you're not. So and then we get into the showcases and how to build a show and how we, build a band and what you need and things like that. But his development literally structured me to know how to do things off the rip. So I think most artists have to understand artist development is not for anybody but you. It's just like if you're an athlete, if you don't go to the gym, if you don't run, if you don't do all the things that enhances your abilities, then you're just waiting for you to fall flat on your face
Right.
if you're ready. You know what I mean? So artist development is the most important thing an artist should want to do. But coming from the city and coming to Atlanta is definitely a strong shift. I feel like every hood is the same. I mean, but you know, when you from Philly, you can. I say if you can make it from Philly, you can make it anywhere.
Yeah.
It wasn't that heavy. I think it was pretty simple, but it was just more so. Like I said, when I came to Atlanta, it was learning the industry on a different level. It was understanding what split sheets were. These are things I never had to. You know, I didn't know what a split sheet was. I didn't even know what an LLC was. These things I've developed out here. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
did ins and outs of the business side. And that's what Atlanta taught me. Philly was just more so, you know, I got booked for shows. I came through, did what I had to do, and that was it.
Right.
But it literally taught me how to maneuver through the uh the business side of the industry. And that's pretty much it. But the cities, they different as far as, you know, slang, as far as swagger, stuff like that. But overall it's pretty much the same.
Got you.
Thankfully,
Got you. Got you. So let's talk about this single, Slow It Down. Um, what inspired you to record this and your collaborations come about?
the record Slow It Down. Basically, I always found myself in relationships and situations that always felt as though I was being rushed into a relationship based off of the connection I was building with Shorty at the time. So, and then when I realized it was a pattern of mine that I kept running into, I'm like, why is it that I could just be dealing with a girl for about 2 months and 3 months, and she all of a sudden want to get hop into a relationship, and I'm just like, is it something that I'm doing wrong? And most of the time, it would just be like, hey, yo, you gotta chill out, you gotta slow down. I'm still trying to get to know you. Like, but I like you, and I'm like, I get that, but we gotta develop this, we gotta develop something substantial. So
Right.
at the time when I wrote the record, it really was just yet again I was, you know, dealing with somebody, and she was just on some like, yo, I want you for myself right now, and I'm just like, here we go again, yo, you got.
Right.
I was in California at the time, and my homie Jalen Wesley, who's co-producer on the record, I brought the situation to him, just talking to him as bro to bro. I known Jalen for like over a decade. That's like my brother. And you know, we was in the studio, and I'm like, oh, bro, this is crazy. I keep running into the same situation. And he was like, yeah, well, you know what, bro? That's just how it is. That's how it is. So then I ended up leaving for a little bit, and I came back, and he had produced this big ass track. And I'm like, what's this? He was like, I made a track to that record. I meant to that conversation we had. So then after that, you know, the recording process, we just started writing. Words started flowing out. He wanted this big falsetto, crazy runs in the hook. And usually I'd be learning from Troy Taylor. He'd be like, yo, man, don't do too much. And I'm like, why not do too much on this record?
This one.
What I'm saying, if we in the flow of creativity, let's just go with it. If it's too much, we'll pull it back. But nah, we once we wrote it, it was like that, and that's why I like working with Jalen. It's pretty simple. It's never this big. Yo, I have to sit and meditate and did it. It'd be like, oh, bro, let me cook this up real quick. And I think we knocked out about 5 records after that. But Slow It Down in particular, it was just simply that. And then it became like, you know, I think this would be a dope lead up single to at least get people to hear me in a way that that if I found this song on Spotify, if I found a song on Apple Music, I would be like, yo, who is this? This old, this is a bold track. This is some bold vocals. So that's about it with that.
Definitely. You described the track when I was looking at listening to it. You described the track as an old school vibe with a fresh twist to it.
Yeah.
And then with that, what elements of classic R&B did you want to keep? And then how did you push it forward to today's audience? Like you said, when you were talking about like when you hear it on like Spotify or any type of thing, you want to
Yeah.
be like, who is that? You know, what elements did you keep from one side and bring it over to attract the other audience?
So I would think that first I feel like those. classic. That feels like Jimi Hendrix. It just felt that way when it first came on. I'm like, okay, here we are. We got
Right.
the going on, and then that's a consistency throughout the entire track. And even the textures of the hook, I think are classic sounding things. I don't think modernly a lot of artists are doing that type of falsetto and those types of taking those types of chances. To me, that it's like a catering to a Prince
Right.
or catering to like a Maxwell. But the element that I wanted to bring lyrically to the song is where I feel like it's more current. You know what I'm saying? Like what I'm
Right.
saying, and basically the concept of yo, we should slow it down. I think it's more modern day because I know a whole bunch of niggas my age that feel that way. You know what I'm saying? I know a whole dating right now feels that way to the point that now the females is reversing it on us. Like we the ones like yo, I want to be with you, and they be like yo.
I'm good.
So I think, and then I think in particular that last part of the song that we might need to step back, take a look at where we at. Are you like my perfect match? I feel like that's like a current bounce. You know what I'm saying? We did all the singing, all the all the vocal thing, and then on the end of the track it's just more so like a you could definitely sing along to this part because it's more of a bounce. It's a groove. It ain't really got no, you know what I'm saying? It don't really have no extraness on top of it. So I kind of feel like I completed that all in one song, and that's hard to do within one song. So I feel like I hit all those elements of those time frames, and it just feels good. It
Right.
feels good. And then talk to people my age about it. They like, nah, nigga, that's hard. That track hard, bro. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I think mission accomplished with that. We
Right.
got it.
I think also that a lot of people when they have songs that they can relate to, it gives
Yeah,
them a feeling to it. When someone is singing what they know and you know what's happening, you're like,
yeah.
okay, I get along. I understand. I think that's the one thing, key element. Sometimes I think some R&B doesn't hit on. But you hit it on that where people don't tell like really what's authentically going on with people nowadays, and you just making up something, you be like, that I've never experienced that in my life. What are we talking about?
I'm telling you, man. It's telling you.
Yeah. So your upcoming project, your project Forbidden Fruit is already becoming called a game changer. Can you tell us like the story or themes that are going through this project? Because I'm pretty sure it's a storyline that's going to come through it, as I've seen already how your work is.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a storyline that's going to happen. Can you like tell us more about it?
Forbidden fruit, um, biblically, I took from the concept of Adam and Eve
Mm,
because there's so many nuances to that story. But if you don't, if to me, all it came down was two choices. These were choices that were made. She bit into the apple. This happened. That happened. So I realized how familiar that is to the way society is now, especially with social media. Everything we do is just choices.
yeah.
So I was like, oh, one of the main things that you have to make a choice about is who you want to be with and who you deal with and who you want to be in a relationship with. And regardless if you know the ins and outs of the entire process, you chose to be in it, good, bad, or indifferent. You know what I mean? And then you get to choose to be out of it. So it's just simply taking the concept of saying, hey, yo, like you bit into this situation. You tapped in with me, just like I tapped in with you. So now what comes along with it, we're figuring it out.
Right.
And you might not like it, or I might not like it, or you might love it here. I might love it here. Whatever it is, these are choices that we make. So the songs on the project basically are just telling a story of, well, honestly, I combined a lot of my relationship situations. Be a couple chicks that's on here, you
If
know.
you're upset about your
Don't care. We gotta talk about it. Yeah, so but the project primarily is basically the description of stuff I've actually been through and relationships that I've actually been through. Just basically like, damn, like I told you from the gate what this was, and usually that doesn't register to people that see it the way they want to see it. So I'm like, yo, you know I fuck with you, you know I like you. Can I cuss a little bit?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You know I rock with you. You know this one I rock with, and there wasn't no relationship attached to it. We was just doing us. Next chick,
Right.
love with her, but that ain't work either. But then you still do, and then you still not dealing with each other. it's just a back and forth. But at the end of the day, I'm like, yo, you can't blame nobody for this. Like all of these are our decisions. These are choices we make, and some of them choices feel good. So one of my favorite songs on the project is "Don't Pop Up," and the concept about it is basically saying like I've had a girl pop up on me and she didn't tell me she was coming, and she seen what she seen, and I'm like, just don't pop up on me. When
Right.
but that's usually the role of a girl that you committed to. You know, I'm
Right.
just pop ready. This was a girl I was not. So it was like, yo, why would you think that was cool? But
Yeah.
it's whatever. But yeah, so basically, and then the nuances of finding out we do fall in love with somebody. They might be dealing with somebody else. You dig what I'm saying? Like, kept that vulnerability on the project. I got a song called "How Do You Sleep," and that song basically was just talking about like when you find out, like, damn, you ain't the only nigga.
Right.
Play yourself, but you also like, damn, she over here cool as a cucumber, sleep like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what I got you. You ain't gotta worry about it. And I know so many niggas that lose their cool when they figure that out. So I just felt like the project has all these nuances of, and it's gonna be a part two. So it's not gonna be like everything in this one project. Like it's
Got
gonna
you.
be a forbidden that we're working on. And I just feel like it's just what we go through in relationships, especially ones with no commitment. Commitment was a part of a lot of this. Maybe some of these stories wouldn't exist, but for some reason, this generation, we just don't commit to a relationship.
Right.
It is what it is. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
it sounded to me so like if it feels like there's gonna be some cliffhangers that we gotta wait for when it comes
Oh
down to the part two.
yeah.
But it's funny because I was just telling someone that it would be hilarious to hear someone like come on like the other side of how like Jasmine Sullivan did Hotels and she was
Oh
telling
yeah.
the other side of her things.
Yeah. Snap with that. You snap. She,
Right.
you know she from Philly, so
Yeah.
I hear certain voices of no on this
Right.
crazy, man. But I just think that the nuance of relationships right now has to be talked on such an honest level.
Yeah.
People are listening to it differently now. Like I remember somebody told me, girls here think like you can say wild stuff in your songs because you got a pretty falsetto. I'm like what that mean? He was like,
Right.
because, bro, if I say it the way I sing it, it's gonna sound harsh. But because you put a, it sounds like it
This is
ain't that bad.
it.
Like, damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, some of the songs, the way I'm singing them, you wouldn't know what I'm singing based. I mean, you would know what I'm saying based off of what I'm singing. But hey, man, it's we got to talk on an honest level about these relationships, man. It's bad out here. I ain't never met so many people in the generation that do not marry, don't want to be together, don't want to make no commitment. So I'm like, we got to speak to the times. We have to speak to what's going on right now because it's crazy out here. It's
Definitely.
crazy out
Definitely. You've caught wave. We're gonna go back a little. Millions have seen like your mashups. Janet Jackson, Money Long has even showed love to you.
here.
What was it like to get that kind of recognition from different people and different legends in your early career and even to this day?
To me, that's always a testament of moments of when you don't want to do it. And the fact that I've always said I've yet to start, when you can get acknowledgement from people that watch, I'm not, so I grew up watching Janet. I grew up so me love. I'll be like, so y'all, you know what I mean? You right,
Right.
just, I mean, but he that my generation or the new generation might not know where they come from. You know what I mean? Like I guess sometimes a lot of these maybe like that man. They don't even know where it's coming
Right.
from. And that, it's the mashups is just a testament to, the whole paying homage to these acts. Yeah.
Definitely. We ever do a thing on this sit down where we ask three questions. It's real simple questions. I think you kind of did it when you were on the carpet with us, but we're gonna do it here. So we're gonna ask you those three questions. The first one is gonna be three words that best describe who you are as an artist.
Um, I would definitely say authentic, a student, and I say committed.
Okay, and why'd you pick committed?
Committed because as an artist, it's so many moments to where you want to do this shit. Though. Like I have to be honest, and it's not the fact that you fall out.
Right,
It's the politics. It's the actually in the business. It's those things like that. I had to say to myself one day, dog, you not. You know what I'm saying? You gonna tap in or you gonna tap out. But at the end of the day, like the love that I have for it, I'm like, yo, you gotta have a commitment for it. You have to have it. So many people depending on you just to show this side of you. And I just that like just really, really you ain't put all your years in this shit for you to pull out at the last minute.
right.
So I gotta be committed for sure. And like I think it was the last 2 years I was like, nah, I'm just gonna go all in. So like that right there probably is why that word is so important to me right now. Like,
Definitely. I think a lot of people don't understand like what we go through in the industry. They
uh,
don't see the politics behind it, and some days we don't even want to get up. And it's like, you know what, do I have to do this today? Like I just want to be, and you think sometimes like I just want to be regular for 2.5 seconds. Like I just
man, man, I appreciate sleep until I dealt with this.
right.
Like I get to go to sleep at night, bruh. Oh,
Yes. I be telling people that's why I even said when we was at the event, I was like, after this, I am so ready to go home and put on a hoodie and go to sleep.
like I'm right there with you, and they be like, God, cool, I'm out.
Right. Like people don't understand that, but
Yeah, but yeah,
definitely. Another thing is what if you could be anybody past or present, and have your like be in their shoes for one day, who would you want to be and why?
so, as far as a musician, I would definitely have to say Prince. I always understood the industry on a whole different level, and also he stayed spiritual throughout the entire process, and he
Yeah.
was just a rebel, and he was a dope rebel at that. It wasn't like a defeated. It wasn't like go against the system and not deal with you and quit. It was like, nah, I'm gonna make y'all respect my name. I'm gonna make respect how I do my business. I'm gonna make respect how I'm gonna perform. I'm gonna make you look different, act quirky, like all these things. And he was able to do it without saying much. Like you really
Right.
didn't hear from interview, or you
Right.
didn't really hear until a speech and a start process. So I would definitely have to say I would if I could body shoes just to see how similar our thought processes are, I would definitely say Prince.
Okay. And the final
Uh,
question to you is what can you tell anybody, whether or not you notice it? We're influencers, role models, if you will. What do you say to those individuals that are looking up to us and are like, you know what, I want to get to that level. I want to get to those moments that they're seeing. What do you say to those individuals as words of inspiration?
I would say, and I don't want to corny, I don't want to cliche, but honestly, everything and anything is ability. Um, as I said before, you really have to have a commitment to where it's like blinded. I don't mean don't pay attention. I mean pay so much attention that you still enjoy what you do,
Right.
but you also have to get all the other crud out your head when you're in the process of creating and just you literally have to just you just can't stop. You cannot stop. No matter the influence, no matter what people saying, no matter what's being thrown at you, you just gotta have a tunnel vision that's damn near unbreakable. And I guarantee you'll get to your goal way quicker than you thought you was. Like you will get there way quicker. All you gotta do is make a commitment every day to do something that's leading toward that, and you'll be there in no time. Then just know that there's a whole other set of trials that come along with that, but you just
Right.
gotta keep gotta stay tapped for sure.
Definitely, definitely. Well, Devin, I want to thank you, number one, for speaking with us today.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you coming on our platform. And whenever you have any other projects coming up, let us know. Of course, it's not gonna be the last time our audience is gonna see you. We have some other things in the works.
Mm.
But definitely keep doing what you do. And like I said, anything you have going on, let us know. We definitely want to support you. And congratulations on all your success already and keep going.
Appreciate you, bro. Always, dog.
All right. You have a good one. All right.
All right, bro.